Carla Esparza became the new UFC strawweight champion at UFC 274, but her fight with Rose Namajunas had a lot of critical reviews. Let's see what fighters think in the latest edition of MMA Pros React.
I have no idea. That was very weird. I don't know. I don't know why, because I picked up early in the first round, like, Rose made Carla look like a Smurf in there. Like, Rose had the reach advantage. She could have been touching her a little more with the lead hand and maybe adding some more calf kicks, something. That was the weirdest fight. It was very reminiscent of Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis, where both of the fighters just respect each other so much. It didn't want to engage, which is weird. Like, you have to fight. I don't know. That's a weird one. I have no idea.
And that was 100% their corners. That was their corners' fault to the max. Like, I understand people, they have game plans and they want to stick with it, and that's great. And at the end of the day, though, like, you got to think about, like, when you're in that position, like, you're fighting for the UFC title. You got to make sure that, like, 100% guarantee you win 3 of those 5 rounds. And if you don't, you're about to not be the champion anymore. And it's like they're telling Rose that she's up 4 rounds going into the 5th round. I'm like, what? Like, she got taken down, like, every single round. Like, what are you talking about? She's up 4. She hasn't done anything. So I blame that on her corner. I blame that on her coaches for the dumb game plan, which is why I trust Saif so much. It's like, like, he'll tell you straight up in the corner, like, you're down, like, you need to do this, this, this. And he has, like, real good instruction, whereas her corner was like, you need to move more. You need to throw that lead hand more. Like, you're not telling them anything. Like, you got to speak up and tell someone straight up what to do. Like, it's like a cheat code when you have, like, coach over there that tells you game plan. They're like, hey, keep your hand up, but look for that 1-1-2 down the center or whatever. And, like, if you can listen to your coach, you'll win a fight almost every time. But it was like she either wasn't listening or she wasn't getting a good look from her coaches, and I don't think she was getting a good look from her coaches, and they didn't come up with a good game plan for sure.
Yeah, I was really surprised because, like, if I bet on that fight, I was definitely going to go with Rose. I thought she grew so much more since their first fight, but I was just shocked by the way she fought. She was very, like, tentative. She didn't engage much. I could see why Carla won because she kind of was, like, the only one trying to fight. And that fight just, really surprised me. I'm not exactly sure, like, what her strategy was. I think it probably was to just hit her and, like, stay away, but she just never was aggressive enough to hit her that much, and then was still getting taken down sometimes. She got her own takedown, but she didn't have any control on it. It was just a very strange fight. I honestly would be kind of curious to see it again because I think they're going to get so much blowback for this one that maybe they'll go in there and try to kill each other the next one. But yeah, it was definitely a strange fight.
I mean, that fight was kind of a coin flip, but, at the end of the day, if I'm controlling the center of the octagon and you're just running and evading, I'm winning. So I think that the judges got it right. I don't remember how they scored it, but, I thought that Carla won the fight just based off cage control. But that's really all that happened, There were a few takedowns, a few punches landed, a few kicks landed, but when you're trying to engage and the other person is, like, dancing and moving, I have to give the edge to the aggressor.
Man, I'm so disappointed in those judges, honestly. Like, those judges are terrible. Even still, like, obviously they both had great cardio, you know what I mean? They were 5 rounds, but Jesus, like, you're just, like, waiting on them to get going. But it was still very obvious that Rose, had the upper hand the entire fight. Like, that's what I mean. The judges are terrible. I don't get how they saw Carla winning, because of some stuffed takedowns, like, but man, it should have, in my opinion, it should have been a no contest. They should have just ran it back. And I don't know what was up with Rose, but her coaches and her maybe could have got, just like a better sense of urgency. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't know what was going on there, but she seemed really, really hesitant, and I have no idea why, because she had the upper hand the whole fight.
Man, matchups make everything. She was probably so hesitant with the takedown. You never expect a fight to happen like that. I mean, when that fight was going on, I was immediately thinking of Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou fight. They both respected each other so much, almost too much, to a point where it made the fight just not happen. So it was weird. You hate to see something like that happen, but it is what it is.
It was really weird. I'm not really sure how to make of it, And then honestly, the fans in Arizona were brutal, And I know that this is the thing. At the end of the day, it's a sport. Like when I lived in New Orleans and I went and watched Atlanta Falcons play the Saints, I thought just being out there, I thought a Falcon was gonna kill me, I mean, that's the way sports are, and it just depends on the city that you're in. And so the crowd was kind of shitty, but at the end of the day, it's a sport, and I think vice versa. People need to understand that this is a sport, and that people are looking to win. And sometimes it's not going to be exciting. Sometimes you have a weird matchup. You have someone who's trying to do one thing, and then the other person is trying to do the other, and it masks each other's skills, and people don't realize that, you have some people like Dustin Poirier, Gaethje, or you have Oliveira that are just on top of everything that they do, so you're not always going to get that 100% finish that you want to see. People want to see blood all the time, and it's just sometimes it's a little bit more technical than that. And I think that's why it ended up being a weird fight. I think Rose was trying to keep some distance, and Carla was trying to pressure and get the takedown.
As a fighter, we go through so much, right? And yes, wasn't the greatest performance or whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, we don't know what they've been going through. We don't know what happened. We don't know why that happened, It's hard for a fighter to, to show up every single fight. There's no guarantee, Stuff happening in your life that it may, affect the fights in some, in some ways. So, we don't know what was happening in their lives. So it's hard to judge,
Okay.
Obviously, no one liked the fight. Everyone was like, what the hell is this? But at the same time, you don't know what's happening in their lives.
It's kind of in my own world there. So, I was probably the only one enjoying it. I was just having fun, taking pictures with fans and drinking, So I think I probably was going around grabbing beers and stuff during that co-main event. But yeah, I couldn't tell you who won the fight, or I didn't go back and watch it, that one specifically. But yeah, the crowd seemed upset that Rose didn't win it, but at the same time, I was in my present mind of judging in that fight.
Well, no, I meant more so because there was not much action at all. It was a really tough fight to judge,
It seemed like that from my perspective, but it's I was also drinking and just having a good time. I don't know if I missed out because I just wasn't in the right present moment of my mind,
With that original flow, head kicks with the pros, picks at the fights or anything in the mix. Getting closer to the heart of the flame, bringing conversations with heavy hitting names.